read at the beginning of Vayikra, Hashem calls to Moshe and he speaks to him Me'ol Moed. So Rashi cites the Chazal, Me'ol Moed, Malami Shakol, Nifsak V'lo Yotze Chutz L'Oel, that the sound of Hashem's voice would stop at the wall of the communion tent. It would not be heard outside of the tent. Yochel Nishakol Nomuch, maybe because the sound was at a whisper. Talmudoma es hakol. Mao es hakol. What does it mean, hakol? He had heard the voice, the sound. Hakol amfush betilim is the sound which is explicit in Tilim. David says, Kol Hashem b'koach. The Kol of Hashem is with power. Kol Hashem behodor, with splendor. Kol Hashem shover arozim. It splits the cedars. Imkei lo b'nem amil moed. L'amisha kol nifsak. It actually would cease at the wall, and it would not go beyond the wall. So the question is, why is Hashem's, when he speaks to Moshe, it has to be b'koach. It has to be literally at a sound which actually would pulverize something. Moshe being Moshe, he was able to prophesize in a wake state because of his dimension of spirituality. There was no difference between his neshama and his guf and his body. That's why he radiated. He had a luminous body. His body radiated the kedusha, the holiness of his neshama. But if he was only speaking to Moshe, why couldn't he speak to him at an audible level that Moshe would be able to hear? Why did it have to be at that sound of Kol Hashem b'koach, Kol Hashem shovei arozim? For what reason? The Ramban in Shmos writes that we find that the Oel Moed, the Mishkan, Vosli Migdash V'Shachanti B'Sof, make for me a sanctuary, should dwell in it. It's a replica of Sinai. Whatever took place at Sinai during Kabbalas Torah, it was shifted into the Oel Moed, into the Mishkan. Sinai, at what level did Hashem communicate with Moshe? Kol Hashem b'koach, Kol Hashem shovei arozim. It was that level. It was what that powerful voice, which was uncontainable. So therefore, the Ol Moed being the equivalent of Sinai, so Hashem communicates with that same power of that voice, the same idea. The Ramban writes that why is the being on Mishkan in Sefer Shmos? If Sefer Shmos is Sefer Agula, it's the book of redemption. So when it said it should cease, we go out of Egypt, the Egyptians drown, are destroyed in the sea, and let's move on up to Sinai, because the objective of Yitzis Mitzrayim, of the redemption of Egypt, we should become God's people. After that, stop at that point. What do we go on to the Mishkan? Why is the Mishkan part of Sefer Agula? So he explains that the true Gula is only when we're reinstated to the level of the Avos HaKadoshim. Just as the Avos HaKadoshim, as it says in Chazal, Heinein Merkava, they were the level that the Shekhinah dwelt where they were the location of the divine presence. Klaus had achieved a level that they were the location of the divine presence. That's called Gula. Anything less than that, you haven't been fully redeemed. The redemption is a spiritual redemption, not only physically being enslaved, being fully free of whatever interferes with that spiritual growth. Sinai would have been that location, but since we failed with Chet Egel, we're to be reinstated. So what was the equivalent of Sinai? The equivalent of Sinai is Vasli Mikdash, V'Shachanti B'Socha, the Shekhinah dwelling in our midst. Only then did we become the Merkava, because if that was the medium for us to have the relation with Hashem, therefore it was a replication of Sinai.